And welcome to another California Guy video with your boy California Guy. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this video. I'm here to talk about a few topics today, and that's one is Coon ideology and breaking down some of their arguments because I've been on the internet and I've been looking at some videos with Coons, black people, sellouts, and I've been looking at some of their commentary about black people. And the Coons, like, okay, let's break down number one. Number one, politics. The Coons are always telling black people about voting, but they tell black people not to be a hostage of the Democratic Party when, in terms, they're telling you not to vote for Democrats, to vote for the Republican Party. So, what does that make the Coon? You're still trying to indirectly control. But they'll say stuff, and I'm not here to. Before we go further in this topic, I'm not here to tell anybody that's black to vote for the Democrats or the Republicans. I'm not advocating for neither side. I'm not saying to vote one way or the other. I'm just here to put a little knowledge in your mind of how these people are operating. So don't take this as a political video or my bias when it comes to the political parties. But I noticed that the Coons are always willing to say to black people that they're on the plantation. They race bait, and they make it a point to talk about racial stuff when it pleases them. And then they're telling you to vote for a party that they support. Whereas black liberals don't really do that. But they both do it, but they got their sort of ways of doing it. Black liberals kind of always point out racial stuff anyway, to be believe it or not. Most black liberals are sort of in racial, they sort of have racial discussions. So with them having racial discussions majority of the time versus Coons' jobs on the platforms like Stacey Dash is to discuss the failures in the black community and keep wedging that in. They keep, it's like driving a stake through somebody's heart. You're always consistently saying, well, the black people, they got babies out of wedlock, or they always committing violence. So the Coons' job is to point out the negativity of the black community. Now, when black people, and I'm just talking about black people in general, it's not a pro-black thing or ideology when I'm talking about. When black people point out about racism, systematic racism, whether it's racism at the workplace, admissions at a college, maybe sports, some certain things in sports with coaches, maybe certain coaches getting fired, or anything that takes place in America that involves an African American person, the black people pretty much are on board with that because again they want to advance without using race as a way to advance themselves. They want equality, whereas the Coons are quick to call black people race baiters. And see now, it brings me to black YouTube. First thing black YouTubers do, that's Coons. I'm going to talk about Coons right now. Coons typically like to say that pro-black, they use it as a slanderous word. They say it in a way where it's slander, like, oh, those pro-blacks, because anybody black that talks about racism becomes a pro-black. I noticed that on black YouTube. You know, somebody talks about Trayvon Martin or police doing some shit, or it could be anything. It could be a black woman getting raped by 5 white men. And the first thing they'll say is, it's that black woman's fault. Sorry about that's my phone, people. I'm at work. I'm playing around doing these videos. But no, they're quick to blame the African American woman. They'll say, well, she was wearing tight clothes. So the Coons around here are pretty much puppets. And then the Coons try to claim that, well, pro-blacks are targeting them because they're smart. So they use these different, what you call that? They use these different terminologies and excuses on why they're a coon. And at first they just say it's, well, because we're different. So we're intelligent and the pro-blacks are nothing but thugs. And it's kind of funny that they say that. They say, well, pro-blacks are thugs or they're race baiters or they want to kill white, whatever they would like to say, which is not true. Because sometimes a black person could get on the internet and they could talk about a race issue, whether you agree or disagree, but then you can't place that black as a race baiter or even a pro-black. So how does that work? I have no idea. But the Coons make it a point to say that. Now, on the flip side of it, if a pro-black or a black conscious person decides to criticize or maybe even attack a Coon, they'll say, well, there's no reason to attack me because I'm expressing either my opinions or I'm speaking intelligent, I have a degree, or it's just different pieces of bullshit that comes out of a coon's mouth. And I listen to these black YouTube coons when they talk, and they always give this impression that they're either. Here's 5 traits that you know that they're a coon. But they always make it the point to say how intelligent they are. That's A. I mean, they always bring that point up. They drive it home that they're intelligent, you're not on a level, or you're not shit in their book. And so I'm intelligent. And race was never an issue with me, even if they're successful. Because I don't care if they're successful or not, but even if they're successful, they're saying that, okay, you're race baiting. But an average black person who's getting treated racist and we speak against that, the coon gets mad. So that's a coon for you. A coon always say that they're intellectual, which is not true because they're not. Intellectual offers different ideals. They offer different ideals. And I'm going to be honest with you. Even if you're a conservative, let's just say you're a black conservative, because I don't want to put everything into one box. You have some black conservatives that are intellectuals. Let's not get this twisted. There's some, what's his name? Thomas Sowell. Even though I don't agree with a lot of his points, he's an intellectual to me. He does economics. He's an old school black man. If you guys want to check out, there's a lot of books on money. He talks about some things he have said that's coonish, though. Don't get it twisted. He has said some coon stuff. But, this guy here, he pretty much talks about black economic issues, success. So I've read some of his books when I was in college and his thesis. I've even met the man before. So he's a pretty decent guy. Another black intellectual is Stanley Crouch, another black intellectual. It's a few of them. Cornel West is an intellectual. There's a few people that's intellectuals. You have intellectuals, then you have people that repeat shit. And that's what coons do. Even some pro-blacks do, too. Don't get it twisted. Pro-blacks, some of us tend to do the same shit, too, but not as bad as the coons, though. Well, because pro-blacks, we tend to universally have an agenda, and that's to not have racism, celebrating your culture, whatever, point out self-hate. Whereas coons, they promote hate, and they repeat the same stuff over and over and over again. And they say stuff like, oh, well, I'm a reader, I'm intelligent. A lot of us are readers, too, and make you think that pro-blacks are not readers. So they'll say stuff like that. And that's what amazes me about this whole coon mentality. And they think because they talk a certain way, or they even if they have education, and I don't care. A lot of them don't have it. I can tell, by the way. A lot of coons don't have it. You guys can say what you want. Some of you black YouTube coons, you could say that, oh, I have education, and you niggas is jealous of me, and all that garbage. And it's funny about some of you black YouTube coons. You talk intelligent, but some of us pro-blacks can rile you motherfuckers up. That's the funny thing about you coons. We can rile you up to the point where you lose your dignity. You start to be some old ghetto nigga. A lot of them have done that. I'm not going to mention any black YouTubers' names, but it's funny that some of them have. I've been on radio shows with some of them. They start to use all the profanity. They start to be all street and shit. But then they're at the same time they're putting on another face, like they're just so highly intelligent and they're above the fray of ghetto blackness, when they really embrace the ghetto blackness that they claim that they're against. Yeah, one in particular, I'm not going to mention his name. He has been on shows talking jive talk and talking shit and talking like he's just a street dude. And on the next video he's done, it's basically bullshit stuff about, oh, well, these black people, black culture is just so bad. They embrace empire. And I'm like, dude, you're acting like empire. And there's some other ones, too. I'm not going to go down the list. But the coons crack me up. I don't think they're intellectuals. I think they're frauds, too, by the way. So I'm going to do a part 2 to this video. Like it, share it. And if any coons want to make a comment or even debate me, let me know. Peace out.